My name is Christine Mulé. I am the owner of Elite Senior Home Care, and we've been established since 2012, so quite a bit here of time. I service all of the Treasure Coast and Palm Beach County in Florida, Broward County, and also Fort Myers, all the way up the coast to from Naples to Sarasota, and everything in between.
Amazing, amazing. And you guys have grown so much in the
Yes.
last few years. We've been along for the ride and I love it. I love seeing everybody's growth. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about why you got into this business back in 2012 and what was the catalyst for home care, starting a home care
So
business.
honestly, it was a combination of things. I want to start with I used to go to the nursing home and visit my aunt. So back in 2008, 2007, my dad was also diagnosed with lung cancer. So it was like all these things were happening at one time. We were just before that going to a nursing home. I would visit my aunt. I would see her roommate, and every time we would come in, she never had anybody visiting her. So it was like, oh my God, just so sad. And just one of those things that it was just like, geez, does she have any family? Is there anybody there to care for her? They get into these zones when they're in the facilities like that, where it's just, they don't have any visitors, no outside communication other than the nurses that come in, which do a phenomenal job. It's just not the same as the family's touch. I was living up in Buffalo at the time, and right along the time my dad was diagnosed, I was like ready to get out of Buffalo because my husband's from there. And I said, man, I just want to get back to Florida because it was cold, long winters up there. My good friend of mine at the time was like, Christine, I want to do something with you. Let's do something. I see these aides all the time with these people who need help. And I said, my heart is there. I'm a people person. So let's do it. And from there, it just started growing slowly. Started off with one client, and now we have a census of over 200. So it's grown pretty rapidly, slowly. I'm not somebody who likes to rush into things, so it's been done with doing things the right way,
Mhm.
I guess you could say.
That's actually good. We haven't rushed either, and I feel like you're on more solid ground when you're not trying to fly through growth.
Yeah.
It's hard. Growth in the home care industry and the business that you're in is inherently a more challenging business than people realize.
Oh, absolutely.
It is
The
a
competition
really
is
hard.
fierce. Yeah.
Yes, competition. You are in Florida, which means that you're in the most competitive market, one of the most in the United States.
Yeah.
So to have survived and thrived for all this time means that you guys are doing something right.
Right.
And that comes from leadership. It comes from doing this because you have a calling to do it. We
Absolutely.
talk a lot about that. I don't think you could be in home care if you didn't feel a calling because every day is not peaches.
Right.
It's
It's
sometimes
definitely not
it's
easy. Yeah.
yeah.
And I just love, I've pretty much wrapped my whole business ethic around treating the clients and the aides for that matter how you would want to be treated, right? I want to make sure that my client is getting treated like when I would go see my aunt in the nursing home, not like the other ones that are just sitting there. They come in, they do what they got to do, and then they leave. The passion is there, and just it exudes. I exude that with my staff and with everybody, so they see it. They're all like, "Oh, we want to come work for you," and I'm like, "Listen, you just treat people how you want to be treated. Everything happens organically with me. I like you don't rush it. It just happens organically."
Yeah, I think having a positive attitude and being a kind soul is an immense. I think the
100%.
superstars of home care typically are ones that they've given way more than they've received over the years.
And
And
that's not easy. Yeah.
yeah, that tends to lead to an abundance of goodness coming right back to them. So I know you guys, you've grown. Talk about your offices that you have now. I know you serve everywhere, but you've really grown a lot.
You've known me from the beginning, just almost about maybe a few years into it is when we met up and started working together. So the Fort Myers office, we started that 3 years ago. A lot of things have changed. I am a VA contracted agency, so we have a great reputation with the VA locally in West Palm Beach. I said, you know what? Why not? Let's go out west. Let's go down to Broward, even though Broward is, oh my gosh, it's crazy. Again, it's just showing our results on how we take care of our clients and, how the aides are also taken care of. I said, let's do it. So we did it. And it's been slow. We've been out there for 2, 3 years now. The census isn't as what I was thinking it would be yet, but it will get there. So I'm just taking it one day at a time. Broward, same thing. It's just constant pounding the pavement, but there's so much competition over there. I think more so than West Palm. It's
Well,
intense.
tell us a little bit. Oh yeah, Broward County's crazy busy all the time and competitive. But tell us about the VA program and what that means, because for years and years, we've heard about VA aid and attendance pension benefit. I think a lot of seniors have probably heard about that by now, but this is something different. We're talking about the Community Care Network, right?
Correct.
Yeah, tell
So
us how that
VA,
works.
okay, so the VACCN is more geared for the veterans that go to the VA every year. They have to obviously have a routine physical examination done by the VA doctors, and then they go there regularly. And if they don't, we let them know, listen, there's benefits that are available to you. There is so much availability to veterans that we probably don't even know all of it. It's just that we know that, yes, there is aid in attendance. That's a separate pocket. That's like a cousin of the VA, let's just say. So that helps with, that's based off of more your assets and your monthly income. With the VA, you're a veteran, you're entitled to that benefit to go and get serviced and to have home care come into your home or go to a facility if you're in an independent living anyway, then you would be eligible for an aide to come in and help take care of you. So that would be everything from like bathing, dressing, meal preparation, medication reminders. We've had transportation to VA appointments as well, depending on the circumstance of the veteran. Not always do they allow it. It's tricky because some VAs are like, some locations are like, yeah, you can transport him. Others are like, no, it's a liability issue. So we just see what the situation is. So if they're under dialysis, let's just say, then obviously we'll accommodate that with them. Yeah, and their understanding of that. But yeah, it's a great benefit. A lot of people don't know about it. It's separate entity again. I have veterans who can get up to 21 hours a week of home care
Wow.
plus respite if they're married or they have a
Mhm.
significant other, they can get a little additional hours. And then the aid in attendance, if they qualify based off of the criteria, they can maybe get up to another 15 to 20 hours a week. So that's giving them 30 to 40 hours a week, depending on their level of care and how they're based off of the points that they use in the VA system.
Wow.
So,
So they can stack those programs if they meet financial criteria and
absolutely.
wartime criteria. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. It sounds to me like whoever that veteran is, they need somewhat of an advocate to help them through all that. But because it's a little bit, the VA aid and attendance is a little bit of paperwork, but, or maybe it's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Certainly,
It's
I'm
like 30
sure.
pages or something, I think.
Yeah. I'm
Plus
sure
all your,
you
yeah.
you know who that they can go to. You could refer them to somebody to help them get all
Oh,
that.
absolutely. Yep.
And
It's not our thing.
so in the CCN, I think, yeah, I'm just trying to clarify for folks who might watch this. They have to start with their provider. They don't start with you necessarily. You are happy to talk to anybody about what the program is, but they start with their primary care physician. They know that they either want or need home care services. And
Yes.
then can they ask for a specific provider? Can they ask for you by name or number or something like
Absolutely.
that?
And we talk to a lot of people on the daily and we guide them
Mhm.
through the steps. And it's
Sure.
like you're saying, yes, you go to your provider, you tell your provider you need home care services. I have an agency I want to work with. You let them know the name of the agency and
Mhm.
patient choice. They honor that depending on if they need more skilled, if they don't need skilled. Sometimes the VA doesn't like to separate it from agencies. So if they're private duty and non-skilled, or I'm sorry, skilled, and they do both, then the VA wants to send them to both if they're needing.
Right. Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, they could just ask for the agency they want to work with and
Okay, great.
we can
Yeah,
do it.
that's good that they honor that choice for the most part. And
Nope, nope. You okay?
sorry,
It's all right.
choke on my own words.
It
Pull it out.
happens.
Pull it out. And the host dies
Oh
on
no.
the screen. Okay, back to that. When they request you, then the VA contacts you. It's not the client who makes that arrangement. The VA actually reaches out to you for.
The VA will reach out, ask if we're able to staff the case, and we tell them yes or no. So it just depends. It depends on the situation. Sometimes if they know that they're requesting our agency, they'll just send it. So it just depends on the social worker and how much more work they want to do or not do.
It's an amazing program.
Yeah,
I am
for
so
sure.
that they started it. Let's talk about caregivers. You probably employ a lot of caregivers at this point. If you have 200 clients or 200 folks across the area that are getting services. So, what do you look for in a good caregiver? Who is that person?
So that person, number one, has to be a very compassionate person. Not everybody can do this line of work, and without them, we obviously don't have a business. So I'm very grateful and blessed for the aides that we have. So when we're looking for aides, we look to see that they have that same passion and that same vision that we have, which is to take care of our seniors and to get back to the veterans also as well. I just wanted to touch base, like, I think that we owe them that, right? They put their life on the line. They go out and they defended our country. And for the VA to offer this or to have available this type of service, they don't advertise it. So definitely getting the word out there is very strong that we all need to do and let them know that it is available so that they don't think that they're by themselves. The population of homeless vets are just crazy. We like to help our vets back and give back to the community like they gave to us and their families have sacrificed. So as far as the aides go, yes, absolutely. Is the vision that we have, which is taking care of our clients, making sure all their needs, all their ADLs are filled throughout the day, and that they've been doing this for a good amount of time. We don't like to just, we've given chances to people who just come out of school. However, we want them to have a little bit of experience, so we'll start them off with like cases that might not need as much and then work them into it. Or they also as work with other agencies as well. We're always looking for somebody who's funny or has a good heart, who is adamant about giving back to the community as well, and just a all around good person, good
Yeah.
heart. That's
Yeah.
what's important, and somebody that's honest is
Yeah,
very
it's a
important.
calling for sure. I think some people do it because that's the profession they've chosen for whatever reason. But I know that most of the caregivers that stay in this business for a long time and are truly good caregivers,
Yeah,
feel a calling in their heart to care for others. And
absolutely.
that's the best caregiver in the world. And experience, anything can be taught, right? But you can't teach somebody about compassion.
Exactly. And some of the caregivers I have, Valerie, have been with me for since the beginning. And that's when you see, oh my gosh, I get these calls from, you always hear about the bad stuff that happens, right? People don't usually always call you to give you good feedback about your aides. However, I do get feedbacks from our aides, and we also do Google reviews. We have like little competitions with our aides, and it's, listen, let's hear back from your clients. We want to know what the feedback is. And we do our caregiver of the month here as well, and holidays obviously we take care of them. So I give back to them what they give to us. Like I said, without them I wouldn't have a business. I'm not a greedy owner. I take care of my aides, male and female. So that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think
Everything
that's wonderful.
happens how it's supposed to,
That's
and I
right.
don't have to try any harder.
I totally believe that it's so obvious, and anybody who's been in this business for a while, that the caregivers are the heart and soul of any home care agency. And so when the owner and the management has a good heart and soul, they will definitely attract those who feel the same way and taking care of the caregivers. We used to not talk about that very much, but that is what this is all about too. It's not just the clients. You taking care of your caregivers is
Absolutely.
the top of the list of
Hmm.
importance. And it's so refreshing that we say that and we honor that these days because I think for a while caregivers felt like they weren't taken care of. But I think that tide has changed completely.
For sure.
We love our caregivers because
Mhm.
where would we be?
Yeah, yeah. And they're
So,
great. I mean, they're great at what they do. Like I said, not
mhm.
everybody can do this line of work. We've had
True.
some caregivers who just aren't cut for this business. Sorry, this isn't your calling. But hey,
Yeah,
it's
they're changing lives and they are saving lives, whether they know it or not. They're saving people from loneliness
oh, for
and
sure. Yeah.
saving people, making sure that just getting cleaned up, just getting a little meal in that's prepared by someone and it's not necessarily,
100%.
junk
100%.
food or whatever. Yes.
When I go out and do assessments, which I still do, I like to still be in the line of action with everybody. And some of these caregivers, or I'm sorry, clients that we go to see, I could spend hours there because they just want to talk to me and they want somebody to listen to them. A lot of these caregivers, when they're there, they
Listening.
have to be an opening ear for them, a confidant, a friend, just somebody that's there to help them with their loneliness that they feel. So, yeah, it's huge.
That's great. And so many people can stay at home so much longer when
Absolutely.
they're looking forward to
Hmm.
somebody, their aid showing up that day. And
Oh, yeah.
maybe you can speak to this too. I know sometimes seniors have a hard time letting home care start. It's hard to let somebody in the house. Maybe you can speak to that and how you can
Yeah.
ease folks into that.
So how I've eased into it in the back in the past with clients and their children is I'll go out, I do the assessment, I go over everything, tell them the pros and cons of it. Listen, you're going to have somebody here. It's going to give your loved one a sense of security knowing that, somebody's going to be there to check up on you or take you shopping or be there to do a puzzle with you, whatever it may be. Getting them to open up and accept it is a huge battle, right? But once you get through it, it's okay, that's half the battle. Let's just try it out. Let's see how it works out. If you're not happy, we'll make some changes, but let's just give it a shot. I have a really good caregiver, and usually, like, I'm in the back of my mind stewing of who I could probably put in there, and I'll just let them know, let's give it a try with this caregiver. We'll start off with an hour or even up to 3 hours just to get that comfort. I said, once you feel that person is the right fit and you guys, there's no personality conflicts or anything like that, you're going to be building a relationship. That person is going to be like family to you. And that's usually what happens, right? Because they end up staying with them for years and years or months, whatever the time is. And which is breaking through that barrier and letting them know, listen, you're going to be safe. Somebody's going to come in here, whether it's two days a week or whether it's 7 days a week. Somebody's going to be here to check up on you and your family back in New York. It's going to be comfortable knowing that you're being looked after. I think that's just having that conversation. Initially, the family needs to be the ones to break into that conversation with them. And then when we call in, we just reassure the value of it that they'll get out of it.
Yeah, that honestly, the family members back in New York, I know you probably have some snowbirds
Yeah.
and their families live far away. And for me, I'm also a long distance. My mother doesn't need care at the moment, but if that time comes, I will be a long distance caregiver as well. And the comfort in knowing that you all are in the house, there is nothing better than
Yeah.
knowing someone
Absolutely.
saw mom with their eyes today and we know she's doing okay. Those are the kinds of things that adult children rely on, especially when they live far away.
Yeah, absolutely. And knowledge is power. Not this is scary for this is uncharted waters, right? That you're going into. Like, how do I take care of my parents? Like, how do I do? Ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions because this is new for everybody that's going into this phase. So just be sure to ask questions. See if there's other organizations out there that can help you with different things like daycares, even getting in keeping them engaged and busy because if they're staying at home and they're lonely, that's just going to cycle
Yeah.
into a depression. You want to make sure that you're informing yourself and then have your home care provider help you with
Yeah.
that phase as well.
You guys know all the local resources.
Yeah,
If there
we
was
have a
something
lot.
else, if they needed Meals on Wheels, you would know how to get
Yep, absolutely.
that phone number.
Yeah, and being active in proactive in the community with just different organizations that we go to, Alzheimer's and yeah, things like that. And there's some facilities that we go to where they bring in an agency and we'll do like ice cream day or bingo, that type of thing, and just like a Q&A thing. So it's huge to let a lot of people know because they don't know, and sometimes they have long-term care insurance, they don't know how to use it or how to open that policy, and we help them through all of that, all the phases.
That's a whole nother conversation we could have for an hour.
For sure.
Long-term care insurance, and you all have probably been through a lot of policies and
Yep.
combed through them and helped with the filing the claims and all that
Yep.
stuff. So you
Exactly.
guys do that too, then if
Yes.
needed.
Help them
That's
through every
great.
step. Yep.
Yeah. That's great because every one of them seems to be a little bit different, and it's challenging for the family to figure that out.
For sure. And that's why we want to make it easy. So, and that's where my passion is, making it easy for everybody, for us, for them, for you, you know what I mean? And that's what we all strive to get, I think.
Thank you for talking to us and for
Pleasure.
telling us all about you guys and what you are doing and how things are going out there. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Appreciate you too. Thank you so much.